I'm speaking with my colleague Juliana Olayinka out of London. She's on to us this morning via Skype, asking her a few questions. But the most important is this. Good morning, Juliana. Welcome. Let's get this conversation started. The Financial Conduct Authority is looking into information around the Bank of England because there was a suspicion that some hedge funds folks were gleaning information from the BOE to use it for trade. How true is this? How much do we know about this?
Good morning, Bosun. Well, this is it's definitely true, and it's really embarrassing for a major central bank. The Bank of England, they've got their Monetary Policy Committee meeting later on today, and I'm sure they're going to be barraged with questions about this. Earlier this week, I think it was the Times that first broke the story about this breach of privacy. For about a year, the Bank of England have allowed a third-party supplier to record their audio. So before they give their press release, typically to Bloomberg, they would allow somebody to record the audio for them. So it's never broadcast live, but apparently this third-party supplier has hacked into the system and allowed hedge funders to have this information. So even if they were having this information for about an hour or 45 minutes before the rest of the world, of course, you've been in this business a long time, having this type of information that can move sterling and can move global equities is a money earner. And that's exactly what's been going on for about a year. Of course, now it's been exposed, and the Financial Conduct Authority, the money watchdog here in the UK, is investigating. But yes, it's a total shambles, and it just goes to show that trading, horse trading, I think they're calling this high frequency trading, which isn't illegal, but it's very, very controversial.
Juliana, I thought we were done with the Canary Wharf scandals. Now we got another one here in the UK. This is as embarrassing as you said it could be for the Bank of England and those involved. But I'm sure some heads will roll. But let's move on to talk about Thomas Cook. There are investigations that are possible accounting cooking in there. So what's cooking with Thomas Cook? Is there likelihood that these dead companies' books of accounts were being cooked while the company was still alive?
Well, absolutely. We know that Thomas Cook, that airline collapse a couple of months ago, was the biggest corporate collapse in British business history. There's lots of investigations going on. What we know is that the Britain's Financial Reporting Council have just announced that they'll be further investigating for another year just exactly what was going on in Thomas Cook's accounting. At the time, the year that they're specifically looking at is 2017. Ernst & Young, they were the accountants that were they were auditing the accounts, and they want to know exactly how, considering they were losing so much money, a lot of the top execs were able to get big £1 million bonuses. We already know that the UK Business and Select Committee are looking into exactly what Ernst & Young and PwC and all the other auditing firms were doing at the time. But this one is particularly serious, and we know that this watchdog already is very open to giving lots of firms big fines. Last year alone, they gave out nearly £1 billion worth of fines. So this is pretty serious. They're also looking into 2018, but we know that Ernst & Young were not auditing the accounts then. But, the Thomas Cook scandal goes on and on and on. And rather than this just being a failure of lots of companies, which we've seen all the time, this could be a lot darker and more sinister.
Very interesting. So a final one here. Everyone was ears were up yesterday. If you hear 50 billion, close to that figure, merger between two of the world's largest automakers, Fiat Chrysler and the Peugeot, the parent company, the PSG. That was in Europe, basically. And then, so what's the headache here for Vauxhall in the UK? Why is he worried about this business combination?
Well, they're worried, Bosun, because the Peugeot, the French also have their hands in control. And we've seen over the past couple of years that manufacturing in the UK is on the decline. Lots of big car plants have been shutting down. Now, Unite, which is a union that looks after a lot of these car plant workers, they are increasingly worried because they fear for about 5,500 jobs. These are people that work on the Vauxhall plant. Now, when the, as you said, $50 billion merger, or in the UK we're saying 38 billion pounds, when the merger was announced, we know that both bosses were saying that they're not going to be shutting down any plants here in the UK, but of course they're worried. They want a meeting with the top executives, and they want watertight confirmation to say that these plants won't be closed down, because as well as, you know, this being and creating the fourth largest car industry in the world, we know that a lot of car manufacturers are going into electric vehicles, they're going into automated making. So it's not necessarily the merger, it's what's going to happen after that. And we know that, you know, if you've got automated robots making your cars, you don't need the individuals doing it.
Juliana Layinka, thank you so much for joining us via Skype from London this morning. Thank you. Do have a great day.
Thank you.